Right now, across the country, America's industrial sector is basically imploding. We are looking at a system-wide, rapidly accelerating decay of aging infrastructure, and it's currently threatening the lives of thousands of people. And the really grim reality we have to face today, the worst is probably yet to come. So let's dive into this explainer, because something major is happening right now in the shadows of our own cities and towns, and you really need to understand this before the next major headline breaks. 50,000. Just take a second and let that number sink in. That is the exact number of people in Orange County, California, who were suddenly forced to flee their homes last May. A massive 9-square-mile radius completely cleared out. And the reason why? It reads exactly like a script from a disaster movie. At an aerospace manufacturing plant in Garden Grove, a massive tank holding 7,000 gallons of methyl methacrylate, which is this highly flammable chemical used to make aircraft plastics, well, it started overheating. When firefighters arrived, they tried to cool the tank down, but they couldn't drain it. Why? Because of a broken valve. For 2 agonizing days, temperatures inside that tank just kept climbing. A catastrophic explosion in a densely populated area was literally taking down. It got so bad that Governor Gavin Newsom actually declared a state of emergency. Honestly, by what felt like sheer luck, the tank eventually cracked, and that vented the pressure right before the whole thing could turn into a fiery ball of shrapnel. Now, California got lucky, but the broader national picture, it's much darker. Workers in other states didn't get lucky. Just last month at a silver refinery in Institute, West Virginia, a totally routine decommissioning ended up mixing cleaning chemicals with residual nitric acid. The result was this lethal cloud of hydrogen sulfide. 2 workers were killed almost instantly, and 30 more had to be hospitalized. And just days ago in Longview, Washington, a 900,000-gallon tank holding a highly caustic mix of sodium hydroxide completely imploded. At the time of this report, 1 person is dead, 9 are injured, and 9 employees are just completely missing. What's truly alarming here is the sheer scale of this escalation. The Coalition to Prevent Chemical Disasters actually tracks these incidents. Take a look at these numbers. We've got 177 incidents in 2021. That jumped to over 270 in 2023, and it's tracking well past 200 for 2024 and 2025. That amounts to a terrifying average of 1 chemical incident every single other day in the United States. And remember, these are only the ones massive enough to make the evening news. The industry largely self-reports, which means the near misses and the minor releases, those stay completely hidden from us. So why exactly is America's industry falling apart? Well, there are 3 major systemic failures driving this crisis simultaneously. Let's start with cause number 1, aging infrastructure. See, America built out the vast majority of its chemical, refining, and manufacturing capacity during the post-war boom. We're talking the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. That infrastructure is now 40, 50, sometimes over 70 years old. I mean, that paper mill in Washington we just talked about, 73 years old. And there's this engineering concept called the bathtub curve that brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're up against here. When you install new equipment, you generally get a few early failures. Then things stabilize for a long, reliable stretch at the bottom of the tub. But right around that 30-year mark, the curve shoots sharply upward again as severe wear and tear sets in. The facilities built during the post-war boom aren't just getting old, they are entering their absolute deadliest phase. According to the American Society of Mechanical Engineers, more than 60% of pressure vessels and piping systems currently in service across the country exceed their intended operational lifespan. Think about that, 60%. They're literally operating on borrowed time. The National Board of Boiler and Pressure Vessel Inspectors is seeing a steady, sharp rise in repair filings tied to metal fatigue, corrosion, and weld degradation in high-pressure environments. That broken valve in Garden Grove? That wasn't a freak accident. It's just the inevitable mathematical result of equipment outliving its design. But physical decay is only part of the story, which brings us to cause number 2, the human capital crisis. The institutional memory is quite literally vanishing right before our eyes. The people who built this infrastructure, the veterans who maintained it, the workers who knew every single cork, every creaking pipe, and every little workaround needed to keep these aging beasts running, they're retiring. Experienced plant operators, technicians, and safety engineers are aging out of the workforce, and there simply aren't enough trained replacements coming up behind them. We are losing the exact people, the only people really, who actually know how to manage this volatile, degrading technology. Now, if you're thinking, surely the government is keeping a close eye on these aging, understaffed facilities, well, prepare yourself for cause number 3, the blind watchdogs. Let's just look at these numbers side by side. On one hand, we have 1,800 OSHA inspectors. On the other hand, we have 12 million US workplaces. At OSHA's current capacity, an average American workplace gets inspected exactly once every 185 years. That is not a typo, every 185 years. It's just a sheer mathematical inability of federal regulators to actually protect American communities right now. And then there's the Chemical Safety Board, or the CSB. This is the crucial, independent federal agency dedicated to investigating the root causes of these chemical disasters so they don't happen again. Since 1998, they've investigated incidents involving over 200 fatalities and billions in damage. Do you know what their annual budget is? It's around $14 million. To put that in perspective, that is literally less than the cost of a single engine on an F-35 fighter jet. And incredibly, this agency has even faced political efforts from past administrations to defund it entirely, which actually required Congress to step in and rescue it. So we have decaying pipes, a disappearing workforce, and completely blind watchdogs. And here is the scariest part: the hidden threats in your backyard. Take chlorine, for example. It's heavily used in water treatment plants all across the United States. It's heavier than air, meaning if there's a leak, it settles right into low-lying areas, things like basements and subways. And it actively destroys lung tissue. There's a very good reason this exact chemical was deployed as a weapon in the trenches of World War I. A major chlorine release at a standard urban facility could kill tens of thousands of people in a matter of hours. Or consider ammonia. This isn't some rare substance, it is everywhere. It's used in refrigeration systems, local food processing plants, commercial cold storage warehouses. A single catastrophic ammonia release could carry a lethal, toxic plume miles downwind, right into nearby residential neighborhoods. And I want to be clear here, these aren't exaggerated doomsday scenarios. These are the precise risks that government and industry leaders are quietly trying to plan around every single day. But we don't have to just sit around waiting for the next explosion. Let's look at the diffusal, how we survived this. America has built and rebuilt the most sophisticated industrial economy in the world before, and we absolutely can do it again. The problem right now is a perverse incentive structure where deferring maintenance saves a company money today. Sure, a catastrophic failure costs orders of magnitude more in liability, cleanup, and human lives tomorrow, but by then, it's often someone else's problem. To change that math, here is the immediate mission briefing. Step 1, we need tax and liability reform alongside regulators with actual teeth, shifting those financial incentives toward proactive maintenance. Step 2, end the era of hush-hush self-reporting. We need transparent, mandatory reporting with standardized definitions so we can actually know the true scope of these near misses. And Step 3, radically expand OSHA's inspection capacity. One inspector for every 6,600 workplaces is literally a recipe for disaster. We also have to protect the Chemical Safety Board's independence. Their ability to investigate without levying fines is exactly why companies are willing to speak to them honestly. Beyond regulation, though, we are in a literal race against time. The knowledge of these retiring boom-era workers, that invaluable institutional memory of what goes wrong and exactly how to fix it, it has to be captured, documented, and transferred immediately. If we lose that know-how, we are flying completely blind. To do that, we have to rebuild the educational pipeline. We need to look at nations like Germany and Japan. They maintain these incredibly robust apprenticeship programs that move young workers directly into technical industrial roles. We need to focus intensely on our community colleges, expand our trade schools, and forge direct industry partnerships to basically train up the next generation of industrial protectors. Look, we know exactly what the problems are, and the technology to modernize this infrastructure, it already exists. Explaining the cost-benefit of saving American lives shouldn't be difficult. The only question left standing in the shadow of these aging, volatile giants is this: will we decide this is a national priority right now, before the next catastrophic accident, or will we wait until after?